Welcome back to Gold Standard Culture. I'm Chris. We cover the Warriors here for the most part. We also do a podcast called the Culture Cast with my friend Dominic. That'll be uploading tomorrow. Playlist will be in the description, regularly uploaded. So if you like NBA podcasts, go check that out. He's a Thunder fan. We cover them as well, and just the rest of the NBA in general. Today, another reaction. Warriors just played the Kings. And if you watched the game, if you're a Warriors fan, if you're a Kings fan, you know how it ended. It's pretty ugly. Warriors take the loss here at Chase Center, 134-133. And boy howdy, did the Warriors run into a buzzsaw tonight. The Kings just absolutely shot the life out of the ball. Harrison Barnes having a career scoring night. Shocker, right? Just an incredible performance all around from the Kings. Harrison Barnes, 39. De'Aaron, 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in double figures. Just ridiculous. They shot 52.5% from the field, 45% from three, making 22 of them, and getting to the line 18 or 19 times, making 16 of them, only turning the ball over 10 times. It was an incredible game. They just played fantastic offense. And that being said, I only said offense because the Kings did not play any defense. And that's to be expected. The Kings are not a defensive team. Neither are the Warriors. And this is kind of the result. You know, the Warriors already have a lot of issues defending any team. And even though the Kings are kind of a solid matchup for the Warriors, just athletically, who needs to be guarded, where they need to be guarded, kind of works out well for the Warriors. But even then, tonight, all of the woes the Warriors already have on that end, they were still just getting torched, you know. Harrison Barnes taking one-on-one matchups with Clay, Wiggins, anyone, and just dogging them. It was ridiculous. 7 made threes for Barnes. Again, career high 39 points. Just ridiculous, you know. When are we going to see that again? You know, probably never, but of course happens to the Warriors. Shocker, right? But it was just a great game. It was really fun to watch and ended on a really, really crappy note. You know, Steph kind of hunting at the very end there, trying to get himself the ball or trying to get himself a shot off, and probably did a little too much. And De'Aaron ended up poking it away, lost the handle. I didn't see exactly what happened, but it was one of those things. He got trapped. Probably could have fed Draymond on a roll, but it is what it is. You know. Just an ugly loss, sort of. Again, I kind of want the Warriors to lose because I want Mike to make some trades. So the worse we play, the more likely it is we pull the trigger on some of them. So I'm kind of preying on our downfall a little bit, shall we say. Anyways, a lot of cool stuff for the Warriors. Kuminga, yeah, it was a double career high night. Jonathan Kuminga, again, having a just incredible game, 31 points, following up his 25 on 11 of 11 shooting from last night. Came in here today and dropped 31 points on the Kings, 12 of 19 shooting, this time making 2 threes, going 5 of 6 from the line, getting a couple steals, had some good defensive possessions as well, and was a team high plus 16 for the Warriors here. Great game from Kuminga, and there's one play in particular on the defensive end that I wanted to highlight, because this has been something I've talked about on the podcast a little bit, that I think I talked about in the last video today, and it's that a lot of the time Steph gets pulled up a lot on most screens. They try to involve Steph in as many pick and rolls as possible, and get him switched on to whoever the best offensive player is for whichever team we're playing. And no one for the Warriors has really done a good job or even made an attempt to try and say, no, Steph, you stay. I got it. I'm fighting over. Normally, it's just Wiggins, retreat, and Steph is now on De'Aaron Fox. And that's like, even though Steph did get a stop against him in the clutch, credit to him, that's not a matchup that I want Steph on at all. I don't want that. And Jonathan Kuminga, it wasn't Steph this time. It was Steph. It was either Steph or Pajemski, one or the other. But it is a team-wide thing. But Kuminga shoots over the screen, and at first looks like he's going to stay with his man, but then immediately goes over and just hand waves off Steph, Pajemski, whoever, and takes on the matchup and gets the stop. And it was just awesome. Like, that's what I want. I want to have point of attack defenders tell Steph, tell these small guards, no, we got it. That's a sign of that's a sign of a strong defense, a confident defense, when they're not just letting their guards take on the best matchup every night because they're not the ones switching. And to highlight that even further, there was a specific possession where De'Aaron Fox, who hit 2 big-time threes at the end of that game, Andrew Wiggins was running back in transition with Brandon Pajemski, and Wiggins had a clear line to go pick up De'Aaron Fox. I think Wiggins' man was like Trey Lyles, who was way out there. It could be wrong on who Wiggins was guarding. It's either Barnes or Trey Lyles. And Brandon Pajemski is like completely sinking back because his man's in the corner, and Wiggins just retreats right back to the middle of the floor where no one on that team is going to be a threat to shoot from. Even Trey Lyles, he's more of right at the line shooting. He's not someone who's, pulling from the logo. And Pajemski was forced to have to, already retreating. Now he has to come back up, and De'Aaron Fox hits a clutch pull-up 3 that really hurt the Warriors. Now, obviously, the game ended in the way that it did, but that was a big-time mistake from Wiggins, who just wasn't aggressive defensively, and that's been one of my biggest issues. And so happy that Kuminga was the one guy that kind of took on that challenge and said, no, Steph, Pods, you're not doing that. I got it. We shall talk about, probably the biggest thing from this game, which is always going to be the biggest thing until I guess he's gone, really. Everybody's already blaming Steve Kerr for not taking that timeout at the end. I'm not against him not. I think it was the right decision. Again, the Kings are not a good defensive team. And not only are they not a good half-court defense, like, they're just a really bad transition defense. And the Warriors had him in transition. And again, Steph just kind of, screwed himself there. That could have been something different had Steph made that pass to Draymond that could have got something at the rim, potentially a lob. Who knows how it shakes out. But I'm a fan of what they chose to do. It's just it didn't work out the way it did. But it's one of those things, that happens in all sports. It's like if you don't do it but you succeed, no one says anything. And then if you do it and you don't succeed, then everybody says it was a bad choice. So that's how it's going to get looked at. It is what it is. Again, I did kind of admit that I have kind of a bias at us losing, but I'm not, in general, I'm not opposed to the no timeout at the end of the game, especially because in this league, half-court offenses or half-court defenses are just so much better than transition defenses, especially because the Warriors just don't have too much presence at the rim. So you don't really want the Kings to be able to set up their defense, and well, now we can't really attack anything. They're just going to blitz Steph. You get a roll, and maybe Kuminga gets open again. Maybe not. So I'm fine with how it ended. But I do want to highlight the last thing here. And this is kind of the biggest thing because everybody's been questioning Steph. And, is Steph, does he still have the juice? Does he still have that magic? He just got, for the first time in like a decade, apparently, he's not going to be an all-star starter, which frankly deserved. I think Shea and SGA and Luka clearly deserve it over him. I think the real snub here is Jalen Brunson not starting over Damian Lillard. I think Dame starting is just absolutely ludicrous, but call me a hater. Steph had 33 points tonight, 13 of 26 from the field, 6 of 14 from 3. Of course, Steph is not a guy that ever really gets calls, doesn't go to the line much, so only 1 free throw, but he did hit that free throw, and only 2 turnovers. He's really struggled with the turnovers over the last month or so, and only had 2 tonight after getting just face guarded by Keegan Murray for half the game. The Kings blitzing him everywhere, forcing him to, make tough shots at the rim, which he did. Shooting 50, 42, 100 from the field. Great game from Steph. Now, is he back? Did he get his swagger back? Is Chef Curry back in the kitchen? I don't think he's ever been gone. I just think it's just a matter of like he's gonna have games like this where he goes nuts, and then he's gonna have more games where defenses are just really good and all they're doing is worrying about Steph and nobody else can do anything to alleviate that pressure. And Steph's just not gonna really be that involved, you know. It's the unfortunate side of things. Again, we talked about it. I don't want to beat it over the head, but he isn't LeBron James. He's not someone that's going to be able to just, bully his way and truck people and get to the free throw line as many times as he wants because nobody can physically handle him. Steph kind of has to rely on finesse. He doesn't get the whistle that guys like Dame gets. He doesn't get the whistle that Shea gets. He doesn't get any of that stuff. So he has to play the game a little bit differently, and because of that, he's not getting any points that aren't going to be super tough. So overall, I think it was a great game. The Warriors did a great job at scoring. Kings did an amazing job at scoring. Had a just unbelievable night, and it just ended in a really crummy fashion. But sometimes that's just how it goes. They did run into a buzzsaw tonight, and yeah, what are you gonna do? So that's gonna do it. If you like the recaps, if you like the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Again, tomorrow, new podcast coming up with Dominic. Probably going to be talking about the Bucks firing Adrian Griffin, bringing in Doc Rivers, the man who is always in to save seasons, supposedly. Will be the cliffhanger I leave you on. But yeah, that being said, have a good rest of your week, good weekend, and all that good stuff. So yeah. Have a good one, and peace.